Hey, it's Kayet here. As you can see, I'm fairly new YouTuber. Well, actually I have one more channel, but I don't speak in English on that one. Anyway, it would really help me if you guys subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends. Beginnings are tough, you know. Thanks for the patience, and now for the main part of this video. Supraball. How many of you have heard about this game? Probably not many. In case you don't know anything about Supraball, let me briefly introduce it to you. I will now quote Solomon, beta tester of this game. What is Supraball? Imagine you're playing FIFA, controlling just one player. Okay, now imagine that each other player is a real person. Okay, now imagine you're in first person and you have this super awesome cannon with dozens of combinations of spins that fires a yellow ball at 400 km per hour. Okay, now imagine you fire that into the top corner at that speed and someone saves it. That is Supraball. Now, before going into more details, let me tell you that Supraball came out of the early access on 8th of February 2019 and it has been on Steam since April 2016, as you can see on Steam charts. Why no one is talking about this game? Now, that is a good question. Supraball has always struggled with the low player base and it's getting worse since its release. Lots of people on the forum have tried to explain this occurrence, but for me, personally, it's more about vicious circle. Let me illustrate that for you. New player installs Supraball. He does the tutorial, obviously, and then he wants to practice his skills in-game with real-life opponents. To his surprise, he cannot play a match with both teams filled with real-life players, and instead he has to play with bots. He thinks that maybe everyone is playing ranked games, so somehow he manages to gain that 6th level. Still, no luck. Then he decides to uninstall this game because it's basically dead and no one plays it. Basically, few player means that no one new is probably going to join the community. I won't go into gameplay itself because it's not that complicated to require explanation, but I will say that it is really comparable to FPS Rocket League in terms of being skill based. It requires teamwork and is highly competitive. Following the release of Supraball, devs have made pretty important announcement. I have marked the important parts or the keywords of this announcement, I should say. I'm going to read it quickly now. This is now the release of Supraball and not quite what anyone has expected. We've been working on this for exactly 7 years now and we worked our way into a corner that we see no way out. The UDK engine that we use limits us so much that it's bordering impossible to debug a lot of problems and our motivation to go on like this is near zero. We're maybe disappointing some players with this, but please read on. In the long run, it will be better this way. We now have a game that can be played very well and is a lot of fun if you take it seriously, but it is far from being a polished experience. Given all these circumstances, Marenz, or Marenz, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, sorry, and I, David, decided to release it as it is. We really want to start over, having learned hundreds of lessons to make Supraball the game it deserves to be. Knowing how to do things right usually requires having done it wrong before. Trust us, we learned a lot from the many mistakes. The complexity of our current system is way too high. It has way too many separate parts that are very hard to coordinate. The game is hard to update. We want to have the game in one piece, no separate launcher, have it all focused way more on the core gameplay, not have so much clutter and menu options around it. What we cannot fix is that in the past 5 years the gaming scene exploded with countless games being released every day, and there were AAA games coming out for free all the time, all trying to get attention. All we can do about it is to not try to please everyone, but go more for the hardcore niche player. I have no doubt that the gameplay itself will stay unique. No other game can really compare to what Supraball is. I personally couldn't help on the game production anymore in the last 12 months, and in that time I made an entire game, which will be finished within the next month. The production of Supraland using Unreal Engine 4 was such a smooth experience and it turned out to be a polished game without real problems during development. All we really wanna do is make another Supraball in this new engine. Not only this engine solve all the issues that we're having in the production of the past 7 years, I also learned to code in it. A year ago it seemed impossible, but everything I needed to get coded for Supraland I could actually make on my own and I learned so much in the past 12 months. In Supraball I could always only do art stuff, and for coding related things I always depended on others and was forced to wait and wait and wait. Now I can finally do all of the gameplay and menus by myself. I'm really looking forward to do all of that for Supraball because I know it can be just as polished as Supraland. We expect this release on Steam now to automatically generate some buzz, so we'll keep a close eye on what's going on and maybe we'll do some support updates if it's worth it. Apart from that, we will inform you on our various social media channels the moment we have concrete future plans. If you want to give us feedback, please use this form and link provided. So as you can tell from this announcement, there is still hope for the Supraball, and maybe one day Supraball 2 will revolutionize the esports scene. What can we do right now? Well, if you wish to play this game on a regular basis, I highly recommend installing it. If you'll find it to be awesome, please show some support to devs by reviewing it on Steam, sending some kind words on Steam forum or under this video. The best thing you could possibly do is to play Supraball. If this video gets minimal attention, maybe we could organize a tournament on one specific day to bring more people into it. I'll post an announcement in form of a video on this channel, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, let me know if you have any suggestions, and let's play Supraball.